First Quarter Moon Phase, Finding Our Way Through the Dark by Demetra George. The first quarter moon phase, the moon is 90 to 135 degrees ahead of the sun. Keywords are decide, act, and build. At the first quarter phase, the moon is half full and steadily increasing in the light. The moon has reached 90-degree angle in relationship to the sun, and their stance is one of squaring off to one another. The first quarter phase generates a tremendous amount of tension. The momentum of the cycle is now strong and forceful. In the new moon phase, the evolving soul learns to inhabit its new body and to follow instincts. With the crescent phase, the cyclical movement is to focus the vision, overcome inherent resistance, and develop skill to build self-confidence. Now, in the first quarter phase, the keynote is to take direction action towards firmly establishing and growing life force to building a structure that can support the actualization of the soul's purpose. The plant, during this phase of growth, establishes a root system and puts forth its stem and leaf structures. The cycle must now become rooted in its new direction. Like that of a racehorse chafing at the bit, first quarter people are ready to test their burgeoning strength. They want to reach out, shape, manage, and control their environment. They are impatient with any limitations which restrict their movement and prevent their further growth. If the new direction is to grow, any old patterns that are confronted and tentatively overcome in the crescent phase must be totally repudiated. Like pioneers settling into new lands, these individuals must forcibly clear the way so that they can actively build new structures to contain their purpose. The first quarter moon phase people often encounter many crises in their physical world. On the inner level, the crisis coming from the Greek word krino, to decide, comes from the necessity of circumstances forcing them to make a decision, to choose among alternatives, or to make action based on that decision. For many first quarters, an inability to decide is intertwined with the fear and perceived lack of courage. Fear paralyzes the ability to take action, and any further growth is halted. First quarter people need to learn the importance of taking a stand and developing the maturity to actually do what they said that they want to do. Another kind of crisis in which first quarter people must deal with is the crisis that arises as the result of taking direct, forceful action to challenge the status quo or to manage their environment. First quarter people encounter antagonism and resistance from others who resent them for barging in, taking control, and redirecting the situation. But first quarter types have little tolerance for anything or anyone who tries to hold them back, restrain their expression, or prevent them from acting out in a way that is trying to be a concrete manifestation through them. A strong will, courage, and confidence characterizes first quarter moon phase people, but a strong ego can easily become a dominating one to lead to the ruthless, exploitative behavior. Finally, first quarter people seem to magnetize other people's crises, as well as the courage of their daily lives. They often live in a world filled with action, movement, crisis, conflict, and challenge. This is because first quarter moon people are here to learn how to manage the huge amounts of energy that are released in these crisis-producing situations. As old situations shatter and break apart, the first quarter challenge is to skillfully harness the released energy and to refashion it into a new form that can support and facilitate whatever is trying to happen through them. First quarter people can rise to the occasion when things fall apart. And because of their experience with this meeting crisis after crisis after crisis, many have the instinctive sense of how to take control when the energy manage and redirect so that the problem can be solved and business can go on as usual. But some first quarter moon people actually thrive on crisis as they become animated, energized, and excited, and they are able to shine in these times by becoming the heroes or heroines to save the day. They also experience this adrenaline rush released with the response in the high-geared activity. For these reasons, first quarter moon people become aware that the unconscious tendency to create unnecessary crises in their lives in order to be the spotlight of their own fix and to receive their fix. Those first quarter types who are still young and unskillful in their crisis coping capabilities live in a world surrounded by undercurrent of potential and actual chaos. They experience great tension, frustration, and anger as their potential supportive foundations collapse, pointing to the inability to build or maintain the structures that are necessary to support their evolving life purpose. First quarter people feel the urge to move out from their known world and through the structures that are built to contain their life purpose that they establish their identity within the larger social context. The maturation of the first quarter type people is demonstrated by the commitment to take deliberate action to develop workable and productive forms that can fulfill the need to be released in the new moon people, the beginning of the cycle.